This video is specifically for my textile design, construction, and maintenance class. And so I just want to give you a little information about the assignments that you have over this 3-week break. So the first thing that you were asked to do was to make a very simple pin cushion, which would require you to research a pattern, to gather supplies, including fabric and filling and a needle and a thread. If you do not have a needle or a thread and you cannot get one, then you can call the school and ask to pick one up. I have them in my mailbox. But if you have a neighbor or a grandparent, then I'm pretty sure that they probably have a needle and thread, even if you don't have a needle and thread. They're not too hard to find. And a lot of times older people would really like to help you with projects such as this. So maybe this would be a great opportunity to talk to your grandma. Anyway, so you have to find this pattern, and I have attached a few Pinterest links and some patterns that you can use. The one is 100 different pin cushions. Now, I'm not trying to overwhelm you. You can go very simple or you can go more complex. I realize that some people are like, oh, I'm just gonna get this done. I get that, but you get a grade for this, so I hope that you are spending the time to make a nice one, to make a neat one. And then when you get done, you're gonna take a picture of it and share it with me. You're gonna send it back and share with me so that I can see your pin cushion. What are some possible materials that you can use? So I know that everybody doesn't have fabric sitting around. I have fabric sitting around, but I'm a family and consumer science teacher. I have lots of things. I have felt, I have fabric scraps, and then I also have all kinds of things like lace and ribbon and buttons and all kinds of craziness. So I have lots of things like that, but let me give you some examples of some things that you could use that maybe you have lying around your house. So the first thing that I would do is look at maybe something in your room that you have outgrown that is definitely something that you can't wear anymore and really nobody can wear. Don't take something that you're supposed to hand down to your little brother or sister and tear that up. But sometimes, like, there's an old pair of socks. Like, for example, one of the socks has holes in it and your parent didn't want to, fix those holes, so they got rid of, the sock, or you're going to get rid of the sock anyway. So you could use material from a sock. You could use some old towels or like kitchen towels or things like that. Like I said, if you have any felt, kind of like if you have like a craft area, a lot of times people don't think of felt as being fabric, but it is. Let me see. Sometimes you might have something like I don't know if your family has like a place for like rags, like things that are, shirts or like flannel shirts or things that, got ripped or we were gonna throw out anyway, and so we just kind of cut it apart and we use them as like rags or things for cleaning or whatever. So if you have anything like that. And again, another fantastical resource are people like your neighbor, especially elderly neighbors, grandparents. Maybe ask your parent if they know of somebody that sews or might have some fabric scraps. It's really pretty common. I just know that if you don't sew, you probably don't keep that kind of stuff around. You're like, oh, we don't need this anymore, and then you just like pitch it. So then the next thing that I want to talk to you about is once you make the pin cushion, what are you gonna stuff it with? And again, I went to my favorite place, which is Pinterest, and I looked up what are some stuffings that you can use. If you don't have actual stuffing, what's some things that you could use that maybe you could stuff your pin cushion with? And I found some really cool things, like you can fill it with sand, you could fill it with rice, you could fill it with lavender, which is a type of herb. It's you might have it for, I don't know if I have it sitting around. I have a bag of lavender, but maybe I can show you another day. But they're like buds, like flower buds. Anyway, they smell really good, especially if you like the smell of lavender. You could fill it with lavender, but there's all different kinds of things that you can fill it with if you don't have stuffing, including old clothing, you know, rags and whatever, pantyhose with runs in them. I mean, you can use lots of different things, but if you're having a difficulty, then you can Pinterest that and find out what you're going to fill your pincushion with. Again, because you are mostly novices, I think it's going to take, you know, a little bit of time. And so I thought that was a really great first week kind of thing to find the type of pincushion, to find the materials, to make it, to cut it, to do whatever, to make it, and then to stuff it, and then to finish it by hand sewing. And then again, you're going to take a picture of it and you're going to share. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to make like a slideshow of everybody's pincushions, kind of show everybody what kind of pincushions we made. I'm even going to do this because I would really like some pincushions and like more for class. So I think I'm going to get some scraps together and I'm going to make a couple of different kinds. I thought the jar pincushions looked really cool, and that's very minimal sewing. Plus, it's a really cool place to keep things like buttons and, like buttons and extra pins, you know, not just the ones that are on the top. So I think I've given you enough information, and then I still have given you some links about where you can find the information online. If you didn't already go to the Crestline Exempted Village website and get the paperwork or whatever, then that's where you can get that and see the instructions. But I just hope that you have a really super great week, and I'm excited to see what kind of pincushions you make. Talk to you later.